Today, I'm going to talk about the stupid things that I did in the last 2 days. I know this video is very unscripted, and I'm just trying to figure out what to say after the last video put out saying I have nothing to live for.
This video is a public awareness video for anybody who is going out looking for the channel The Hangar. The guy, Jeremiah was his name. He had just started YouTube and kind of just got a following of 6,000 subscribers out of kind of overnight. And he went live on one of his streams and did something. He said that he was something that he wasn't, of something of the nature. And then he ended up just completely, it was insane. I was leaving a comment in his latest video, and I did see that people were commenting of what had happened, and he was getting a lot of flack for it. So I just want to let people know what had happened. He had obviously deleted his channel. As I was leaving a comment in his channel, he deleted his channel. So if you're looking for it, it's gone. It's not on YouTube. I don't know how else to get a hold of this person. If you guys know, my message that I was going to type to you, Jeremiah, if you see this, was to hopefully you did not delete your channel completely, and that you get back on the horse, take your medicine, lick your wounds, and just apologize for whatever you did. People are understanding here. People make mistakes, and a lot of times this stuff gets swept under the rug after a month or something. People forget about it. But if you just come out, and it's sad to have to make an apology video that soon for you, but I mean, to delete your channel completely, I think you're doing yourself a lot of disservice, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that will still support you just enough. And I think the people that were there to give you the hate that you made a mistake were waiting for your downfall anyways, buddy. I mean, let's be honest. So let's tie our boots up by the bootstraps, tie them up. Let's put our pants, big boy pants back on. Let's hop on the YouTube horse. Get back on there, Jeremiah. You got this. Don't give up, and don't let the hate win. Get back on there, friend. If you see this, well, I'm sure somehow this would get to you. If destiny serves a purpose, this is it telling you, this is your message, Jeremiah, to get back on that horse, buddy. Figure it out. If you deleted a channel, make a new one. Just call it the same exact thing. Just start over, bud. That's what you done did. And you know what? I think that's punishment enough. The fact that you lost all your subscribers. Because if you gained them all in one night and you lost them all in one night, well, I don't know, that just sucks. But if the reason why you had to delete your channel because of something that you felt guilty about, then maybe that's your punishment. And I think that's a pretty good punishment. Come on, guys. So if you're out there hating on the guy, that's a pretty good punishment. So Jeremiah, if you see this, The Hangar, you need to get back up on the horse, man. So there you guys have it. There's your guys' update. I told people I would let them know what's going on, and hopefully through this video with enough support that you guys will like it and that this will reach him somehow. Alright guys, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Have a great night. Bye. And this video probably won't stay up that long. Not long. I don't know, maybe a day or two, or I don't know. Until it reaches him. We'll get to him. Later, guys.
So I was just scrolling through YouTube and found out that a channel that it's a fairly new channel, but I like watching this YouTuber's content. He had lied about a few things on his live stream last night, but he's getting a lot of shit for it. But here's the thing. I know it's wrong, and I'm not supporting it, but what I'm saying is, haven't we all lied about something once in our life? Even if it's the little white lie, we have. So instead of me just being like never watching this guy's channel again, I'm gonna still stick around. I'm still gonna watch it, but I think sometimes we're so quick to judge and we forget that we have failed ourselves in lives. And yes, this is not right of him, but it's also not the end of the world, and I'm sure he feels guilty, and it may have taught him a valuable lesson. So I don't know. Just before you judge, think about the things that you've done in your life too, because we're not all perfect, and some make bigger mistakes than others, but I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, the gentleman I talked about in my last video, looks like he deleted his channel, which sucks because I enjoy just simple, normal, you know, YouTube channels. I love those kind of channels where it's just, you know, everyday people talking about life, other than the, you know, well-polished channels that we have on YouTube. So now I have to find another channel that I love because I really looked forward to his videos. And some of the creators that I do like that have those kind of channels, just puppies, no. They don't post a lot, and he kind of did, and I liked that, but yeah, it kind of sucks. So his tall tales, I think, the best of him, which sucks because he could have done such great things with his videos. But anyway, just a quick update.
Good morning, all. This is just a quick update and a recap on the Hangar, aka Jeremiah. I did a little bit more research when I got off work. I have no updates furthermore on his channel. It is still currently deleted. I've done some more research, dug deeper down the rabbit hole, try to find if maybe he started another channel and it's just buried right now. To no luck, but I did have a little luck. I ran into somebody that I think will help you guys out a lot more, that just explains things, that has a little bit more knowledge and depth into it, and I think just explains it just far better. And I feel like instead of trying to gather a crowd surrounding me and asking me questions, that I can direct them to somebody that might be able to explain it a little bit better for you guys. The channel is Exodus 2:14. I'm going to go ahead and leave it right here. This is how it's spelled out. This is the channel right here, and I'll leave a link in the description down below. You guys can go into it. It's called Why Jeremiah Youmans, the Hangar Lied to Everyone. I mean, he kind of goes into detail about what's really going on, what happened. Apparently there's some mob situation going on, there's some stolen valor going on, but at the end of the day, my message is still, you know what, Jeremiah, you just need to come back, my friend. You know, people make mistakes. Not everyone's perfect. Hell, if I never got a second chance in life, I don't know where I'd be. So I still stand by the fact that no matter what, you know what, you just need to get back on the horse, man. There's a lot of people out there that are willing to give you a second chance. They support you, they miss you. You know, take the good with the bad. You've learned your lesson. Take your licks, you know what I mean, and move on, because this thing could have been a great thing for you, you know. I know you're going through a lot of hard times. You seem like a person that, you know, could probably, excuse me, use the support from the community that you're gathering. I know that you're enjoying doing it. You're having so much fun with it. I could see it, you know. You can see it all over your face, man. Is it challenging? Is it probably something new to you? Is it too much technology? I'm sure, but it's nothing that you can't handle, man. Again, you got to kind of step back and not look at the comment section so much, you know, especially when it gets to things like that. You just got to step back, and hopefully that's what you did. Hopefully you didn't delete your channel, but if you did, I think, you know, I heard that maybe you did come out with an apology video. Maybe it didn't go well, you know, but maybe give it another shot, an honest look at it. Maybe that you had a couple days of sleep on it, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking, and guys, go ahead and go over to this guy's channel and tell him I sent you. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, hope everyone's having a great day. And Jeremiah, hang in there, buddy. There's a lot of people who've got your back. I don't even know why I'm making these videos, but I'm making them, man. So, you know, you struck such a wave to some point, you know what I mean? So do me a favor, let everybody know that you're doing okay. At least have somebody reach out for us. That way people are in the loop a little bit, you know, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are worried for you, man. So my prayers are with you. Godspeed. You got this, man. He doesn't give you nothing more than you can handle, buddy. Trust me. Alright? We've all been down. We all get picked back up. And we keep on going, buddy. So keep on going, buddy.
I just recently realized my main channel, I was subscribed to the Hangar, aka Jeremiah Youmans, aka Clarky, and then whatever number, I don't remember. It seems that his channel has been deleted, or he deleted his channel, or YouTube deleted his channel, or it's privated. I have no idea what happened. But the point of the matter is, my main channel was subscribed to his channel and I would get regular updates. And now I'm not seeing anything anymore in my notification feed. So I assume he deleted his channel, or YouTube deleted his channel for whatever reason. Maybe there was a mass report of fraud or misinformation, and YouTube is very sensitive to pick up on that. So when people do send those things out, then YouTube is going to do some research. At least, you know, the algorithm, the AI is going to check out his channel and review it. Now, I've talked to Clarky before. I've talked to Jeremiah Youmans before. He's been on live streams of mine when he only had 500 subscribers. And it's interesting that lately I did watch some clips and parts of his videos and his live streams. I didn't go through everything because he was on repeat mode and he would blame his senile condition for that. I don't know, because I'm not a medical doctor. I can't make those type of statements that it's facts or not, that it's the reason. But I noticed that this community was pretty much getting divided because of certain things that he told or said or admitted during videos and live streams. For example, something of a military position he used to have or has. Also something about like being, you know, affiliated with some type of New York mobs. I'm not sure. I can't go into detail because I'm not sure, but I remember him mentioning it several times throughout any type of video or any type of content he put out there. But I never thought that much about it. I mean, you know, it's only people that have been in that part of the world, have been in that industry, have been in a subcategory of society that can actually speak out. And since I'm not affiliated with any of those things, I'm not qualified enough to talk about it, but I know there are many that were part of his community that wanted to speak out because they called him on a lie, apparently. Now, what I want to add to it, because I'm more into human psychology, sociology, and culture, is that I realized a pattern. First of all, he is way beyond mid-50s, so he's pushing 60s. He always said he was 57. And what I noticed is that with my grandfather, using him as an example, that he used to, first of all, he used to also present himself way younger on online profiles, and when dating or talking to women, he would always knock down literally decades of his age just to appear more attractive. You know, and the same thing goes for, you know, wearing a wig, a toupee, you know, a hairpiece. Same thing goes for using AI pictures to appear completely like a different person, and basically baiting and tricking people into projecting yourself in a way that you're actually not, because of whatever type of insecurity, or because you just want to appear better than you actually are in life. Either way, the point is that I start seeing this pattern and I start thinking about it. It's like I've seen this before, you know, a man reaching a certain age and start doing these weird things. You could kind of say like it's like a midlife crisis, sort of. But then the reason is, what is the motivation? Why is the person doing it? That's the question you should ask yourself. What is the end goal? And my grandfather, equally, just like Jeremiah, used to brag about the fact that he used to be an F-16 pilot, but he's never done any of that. He never had any type of military experience. He basically just took a picture, a selfie in a cockpit of an F-16, and he used pictures that he found online and then pretended it was him by reposting it on Facebook, while you couldn't really tell it was him. So that's also lying, deceiving, and abusing people's trust, especially if you're building a community online. So I started seeing a similar pattern, and a lot of people in my family back then called him out for that, that he had to stop, that that's not okay, you know, especially not involve other people, you know, like your parents or your children or whatever in this type of lying, this type of scamming scenario. And I personally think Jeremiah, in all respect, was doing the same thing. And the thing with YouTube is, or online content or online communities, or that you will be called out for lying if you're lying, and it's just a matter of time before people are going to do some personal research. There's a lot of information out there. The more you put online, the more people can find out, and you don't have to be an IT expert or a software engineer to figure these things out. Anybody can do some research. If you got Facebook, if you got Instagram, if you got TikTok, if you got YouTube, everything is connected, everything can be ran through, and people can find some dirty laundry and use that against you if they have ill intent, or just to expose you if you've been a dishonest person. And I'm not gonna side by anyone, because in this situation I specifically want to focus on why he did what he did, why did he say what he said, and why people are mad and angry at this point of time. Because I personally think it has to do with a human being, an older man, a single older man that lost his wife, that still cares for his father, that goes to church, that, you know, does all these things that would be perceived as good, positive, and wholesome, and being genuine. But at the same time, there is a flip side to it, because there were moments in time that he would talk and speak and say stuff like, for example, you know, subscribers on YouTube, that's just a number. Followers are just a number. It's a vanity thing. It's a vanity symbol. And then people would agree with him, and some people would disagree with him. But at the same time, literally a couple of videos further on in time, close to the one that he posted when he was proclaiming this, stating this fact, he would be like, oh, you know, I've never experienced this Insta fame, you know, from 500 to 5,000 subscribers, we were heading to 6,000, we were heading to 7,000. He was constantly bragging about the amount of subscribers and attention he was getting. And that's something I want to add to it as well. My grandfather also loved and the attention he got online from people all over the world. He craved it, he needed, he bathed in it. It was like his oxygen. And I've seen that before with older celebrities that were 60, 70, and 80 from where I live, in neighboring countries that would be locally well known, even internationally, depending on their music style. But they would also love to be in the lens of a camera, and they would crave the attention. And it's something you would normally see with younger people using social media, that they just need the attention to be able to function as a human being. But older people seem to have the same problem, especially men. It seems that at a certain point they feel that they're irrelevant because of their age, and they get replaced by other men and they're not attractive anymore. And then that's the only way that they can still remain relevant. It's like they want to reinvent themselves, they want to relive the glory days. And blaming on being senile, blaming on age, blaming on any type of medical or mental condition. It could also, some people even would mention that it had to do with the loss of his recently deceased wife. Like, I'm not a medical expert. I'm just a guy that has a strong background in psychology, sociology, culture, and ethics, and all these things. So I have deeper insight in analyzing these situations. And for me, the only thing that I care about is to unravel and uncover what the hell is going on, so that people that he left behind in the cold, in the shadows, with many questions, get an answer. You know, we gotta figure it out. It's not only good for the people, for the community, but it's also good for himself if he might see this type of content, so he might rethink his actions, because we all make mistakes in life, you know, even if you don't do it on purpose. But the point is, if you're doing something with a certain type of intention, and you know that it can go either way, you gotta stand up, you gotta man up. And I personally think that he did deliberately delete his channel because he was afraid, he was scared for the consequences that would follow. Because things like stolen valor, for example, people don't take lightly to that. And I do completely agree with that. I don't think anybody should be posing as some type of ex-military, an ex-veteran or whatever, just to get the benefits or the respect of the community, of the people. It's more an American thing. You don't see that where I live. It's not that big of a deal. It's only with like Memorial Day and all that stuff and D-Day, that they do get highlighted, but in general, people don't use it or take advantage of it. And I see that a lot happening online. That happens in America, that people just want to exploit that for selfish gain. And I do understand when people get upset and are angry and want to rectify that, because it's a dishonor and a disgrace, and you shouldn't do those things. You should really think about what the hell you're doing if you want to do it, but just don't do it at all. Especially a man of older age shouldn't be dabbling in that stuff. And then secondly, the other thing was about the whole mob lifestyle. I mean, everybody plays GTA, everybody plays Mafia 2, 3, 4, whatever. Everybody played some type of game of Love to Watch the Gangs of New York and knows what it is, these type of things, you know, old school mob type of relations. Who didn't watch a documentary of Al Capone back in the days? But the point, if you want to associate, that's also dangerous, because what goes around comes around. And if you want to proclaim you're a triad, you're Yakuza, you know, you're anything of your Gang of New York, whatever type of thing, it's gonna haunt you, because real people that have lived that life or are active in that life, they're gonna see it and they're gonna call you out, and you can get in big trouble with that. And it's not a game. And if you're at that age, you should realize that don't mess around with those things. Either way, you're gonna trigger something, a response, and you're not gonna be able to deal with it. And that's the worst, because nobody wants another person to suffer negative consequences for stupid decisions or actions or proclamations. And that's why I wanted to make this video. This is just a call out, a shout out to the community, the ex-community of Jeremiah Youmans, aka the Hangar, aka Clarky, because I've been in close contact with him from the beginning when he had between 300 and 500 subscribers. And I just wanted to make this video just as a quick update, because I was shocked and surprised once I tried to Google his YouTube channel and I can't find it. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So hopefully it helps to inform the community, and hopefully I can contribute a little bit, because I know it's important. And I care, because I was from the beginning on semi-invested, but I was more in the person, because we talked, you know, we did talk on a regular, just low-key. So if you see this, thank you for watching, and let me know what your thoughts are, and, you know, just share whatever you want to share, because I also want to know. I need to be updated on this matter.
Jeremiah, I'm reading chat right now. We're
Yeah.
someone named Marty wants you to talk about the mob.
The mob?
Yeah.
I don't live that life anymore. I don't know much about it.
You don't live that life anymore. What are you trying to tell us, Jeremiah?
You was in the mob? Really?
I'm just
You
trying
were
to. I worked for a bad employer who was in that life, and he dragged
okay.
a bunch of his employees into it. I didn't want to be dragged into it. I had a bad.
No, I don't blame him.
Was this in Missouri? So was this the Missouri mob?
Let's put it this way. All I know is what I knew. In other words, the crew that I was with, I'm lucky if I knew anyone's last name. It was a meth lab. I'd never been there, never visited. I don't know. He was based out of OKC. The guy that was running the whole thing was based out of Oklahoma City. All I know is what the prosecutors, because when the bust happened, it happened, and the whole thing came down.
Did you get like subpoenaed?
I had to do community service. I did 2 years of community service.
Oh, okay. So you got more than subpoenaed. You got charged with something.
Yeah, you got charged.
I don't know anything because everything was compartmentalized. Like
Yeah,
the
but like-
military. I mean, you only knew was it.
Yeah, but like you could. Yeah, but like.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What I'm getting at
Works.
is you were involved in something though that got you charged, where you had to do community service. So you only knew what you were involved in.
Well, we would use senior citizens to haul our packages to various cities on the Greyhound bus. Like 80-year-old senior women. No one
Yeah.
ever questions grandma.
Yeah, kind of
Sweet
like the movie
little
The Mule
grandma.
with Clint Eastwood.
Some 80-year-old woman, she'll deliver a package for us to LA or whatever. No one questions Grandma. There were no drug sniffing dogs. It was shipped out of Greyhound, not an airport. Everyone's focused on the airport. What do you know about the meth labs in Lawrence County, Missouri? I said, I don't know anything. Never been there. Saw anything. I never saw anything. I was in charge of one little thing. That was it.
And then whenever the bust happened, you got wrapped up in it, and then you got charged somehow.
I was just an employee. I was an employee, but the guy who owned the place I was working at, he was in that life. We're just minimum wage employees. We do what we're told. I don't know anything. I did what I was told, paid to do.
And then you got
beyond that.
Charged.
I don't know anything. Everything's
the legal system must have been pretty corrupt back then, because like I'm having a hard time seeing what you could even be charged with, really.
Well,
you could get
because I was recruiting people to take the package and put it in their luggage and take it with them. That's what I was charged with. I was a recruiter. I was responsible helping to.
What's that? What's that charge on paper?
Ladies, no one questions Grandma. You don't think about it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's that rabbit hole goes really deep, and I don't think a lot of people realize it. I can't believe you actually got a charge. So I'm trying to think of what that charge would be, just like on paper, like on your criminal record, that they would like tell you.
It's 20 years past. The guy up the ladder, he's the one that got all the heavy charges. If you went to work someplace, what if you had a bad employer and said, well, you gotta earn a paycheck to feed your family? What are you gonna do? You're gonna feed your family. You're gonna do what it takes, or you'll be fired. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Even though you're not in that life, he can drag you into it indirectly. And you only know what you're told. You don't know anything. Because the way the guy set it up, he's ex-military. He set it up and everything is compartmentalized. Just like the military. So nobody knew anything. Nobody knows anything. That's all I know. It was over 20 years ago. That's a long time ago.
Mob. Is it Italian mob? Because now you have.
I don't know. I don't know who all the people was. They know the small crew that I was with. One guy was colored. Another guy, a couple of them were Asians.
So, but you were doing this all in like Missouri?
Oh yeah, we get senior citizens to deliver the packages for us, because nobody questions them.
That makes perfect sense. I wouldn't suspect either, having some old lady, like some sweet old lady carrying the package down the road. I was just more interested in you having to do like community service or something like that, because it seems like then like you got off really easy. Because I was trying to look up charges. Because you said you're in Missouri. I know Missouri, you can just look shit up. And the only thing I can find, you said it was like 20 years ago. The only thing I can find is just like you breach a contract.
Done. It's been buried under the carpet.
Okay, so you got taken off.
Yeah.
I know you got lucky with none of that being on like your record though, because man, that could any kind of mob affiliation like that could just ruin, especially back then when the mob was more prominent than it is now.
They never referred to themselves that way. I mean, back in the 90s, crystal meth was the drug of choice. There were meth labs everywhere. People were cooking it.
The mob really only had their hands dipped in to like Kansas City and St. Louis and possibly a little bit in Springfield, but it would have been an off-reaching branch.
The guy that owned the place I was at, he's based out of OKC. He may be mob tied. That's it. That's all I know. Peon on the bottom. That's why nothing happened. It's the big guys on top. They're the ones who get busted. Us little guys, nothing happens to us.
You doing it before you kind of realized what was going on?
Oh, I knew what was going on.
From the get-go, you knew?
Stupid. I never saw anything. I can't prove anything, but I kind of knew that something was up. Something 2 and 2 are not adding up here.
You know what? Okay, everything's clicking with me now. I see how they did it. Whenever they like charge you, because it looks like they just downgraded it to like instead of like a RICO charge, because RICO charges were really popular back then too. Especially when you hit all levels of organized crime, they'll tend to put the RICO on anybody involved in order to get them to start talking. Then they start dropping the charges one by one till you're left with like the top guy, you know. So I wonder instead of like a RICO charge, they just like reduced it down to like an adult abuse without stalking.
So they gave me 2 years community service. What they assigned me was not pretty. It was hell on earth.
What'd you do for your community service?
2 years at Foster's.
Foster's? What's Foster's? Like a foster care, or is that like a business?
Yeah,
like
Foster's nursing home. It's hell on earth.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to be there.
How many hours you had to get in? Was 2 whole years?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of hours. That's like thousands of hours you have to put in.
Well, it's not thousands of hours. 2 years. It's like a 40-hour work week for 2 years.
So they made you do that?
Yep.
Really? I've never heard of that before.
I'm not talking about it.
Yeah, it makes sense. You never had to like. You said they were transporting meth, right?
That was the drug of choice out of Lawrence County, Missouri. Yes.
Did you ever partake?
No.
Good for you. That's a hard environment to not sometimes.
I mean, what if you work for a bad employer? What would you do?
How much are they paying me?
What if your employer goes caught? You know that the ball goes downhill.
Yes. Am I able to feed my family and live a nice life? Because if I had that and I never had that before in my life, then I'd probably be more inclined.
You might be able to for a couple of years until.
That's how it's all. People who join in things like that, they're either born into it or they're a victim of circumstance. You know.
Oh, I was definitely a victim. I was not born. I'm not Italian. I wasn't born into it. That's all I know about the guy. I don't know his name. I don't know anything. Everything was compartmentalized. Nobody knew anything. He didn't want anybody knowing who each other was. The guy that ran it was ex-military. That's all I know about it. And he ran it that way.
He said it was 20-something years ago, too. I'm trying to think. Huh. That's great. You just must have been on the tail end of that, because it looks like, from what I'm seeing here, the last remaining mob that was running Oklahoma City was defunct in 2004.
Well, this guy may not even be mafia related. I don't know anything about the guy. Except he was living in Oklahoma City. That's where he lived. Beyond that, I know nothing about him. Don't know his name. Don't know anything. Everything's compartmentalized. You know nothing. It's like if you was to work at Area 51. What do you know? Only what you're told. He still got busted.
Yeah, but I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, it's not if, it's when, you know? With how, technology is adapted over time, police's job are getting a lot easier. It's harder. Everybody has cameras on their front doors now.
He had a chain of restaurants, all I know about him, and he used that as his front.
Was it Wendy's?
No.
Oh.
I don't know when he...
And then were you working at... What was the business? What was the front? Was it a restaurant too? Or
Yeah, I worked in a restaurant. Yeah, I worked in a cafeteria there. I can't tell you anything because I don't know anything. But I can tell you this. It's nothing like you see on The Sopranos. If you were running an organization, you'd make sure your employees knew as little as possible. If you had a rat, what damage could they do? He might know one or two people, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? If somebody ratted you, he's not hurting the whole organization. Learned that during the Second World War. What happens if you get caught by the Gestapo? If you're part of an underground, who are you hurting? Two people. But you don't know anything beyond what you're told. So he learned that skill set somewhere. I don't know anything. How can I tell?
Where were you, Dolly?
Yeah.
This man doesn't even know what he was charged with. He doesn't know anything.
It happened so long ago. It's. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I don't want to talk about this. Let's move on.
It's good. It's good conversation.
Oh no!
It's life experience. It's perspective. You have a different perspective on things.
I don't get anything because I don't know anything. I was just a peon. Just a peon. A guy at the bottom of the totem.
Yeah, no, I got it.
If you want to talk mob
All he knew,
go talk to Michael Francis. He's got a real colorful story.
Who's that?
I'm getting an echo.
I think it's from Jay.
If you want to hear mob stories, talk to Michael Francis. He'll give you all kinds of mob stories. No, he's an ex-mob boss. That he was mentioned in the movie Goodfellas. He got famous. He can tell you everything you want to know.
Okay, kind of like a John Gotti.
Yes.
Mob boss, but in the open.
Yes. Yeah. I did a lot of interesting things with my life, but nobody asked me about my military career either.
What's your military career? I'll ask you. I'll bite.
I didn't do anything special there either.
Well,
there's nothing to talk about there either.
What?
I mean, I'm not a war hero. I'm nobody's hero. I just had a job like everybody else.
Wanted to talk about this. He just said nobody asked me about my military career.
I was in the
You're like,
military.
fuck, it's nothing. It's nothing. Not me. Not me.
Nothing to talk about because I didn't do anything.
Oh, stop shooting this shit with him.
It's all for the college money. Air Force.
College money, Air Force. What'd you get on your ASMAT?
What?
What'd you get on your ASMAT?
I gotta look it up because I don't have
all back.
What?
I said you said you. Oh, I thought you were about to pull out the.
No, I've got to go digging around for it.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm old. I don't remember much of anything.
What year were you in the military?
From 85 to 95.
85. So you did a 10-year?
10-year.
So you have full, you still have your full veteran.
No, you got to put in another 20. I mean, I do get some veterans benefits. Yes, I do. Yes.
Well, no, to get the long-term benefits, especially with the U.S. Army, you just need to sign a 6-year contract. So was that not the same back then?
No, I did sign a 6-year contract after they paid for my college education.
Okay. Then you signed 4
they
more
paid
years
for college
later.
And then decided, well, now that you graduated
you did 10
college,
years total.
You owe us 6 years. Like they wanted their money back.
Really? When? Huh.
You see, they sent me to college.
Did you get injured or anything early on in training?
No. They paid for college education.
Out as in the military. What was?
I was a lieutenant.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, just a puny little lieutenant. Amount to anything. Didn't do shit.
Did you gain medals or anything just for your service?
I'm not a hero. I'm nobody.
Give you They didn't give you a uniform or anything? Well,
Oh
like,
yeah.
because like 6 years is there would be a long time, so you had to have some kind of job or MOS or.
I did air traffic control.
Okay.
The guy that planes crashing into each other.
Were you in Washington D.C.?
Hell no.
I gotcha. Did after the military? Because that's a pretty hard field to get into.
No, I wouldn't wish that job on anybody. When my time was up, I came home. I left.
Where were you?
No, I did never experience. I know what a blanket party is. No, I did not participate in one, nor was I a victim of one. Oh, I know what it is. You know what happened to? Do you know what happened to in the movie Forrest Gump? You know what a blanket party is, right?
Is that where Jenny gets AIDS?
No.
Do you have what kind of uniforms were they doing in the 90s? How has it changed from like then to now?
They didn't. Back
they didn't
then,
have uniforms?
Still had dress blues.
So a uniform that they give you still?
Doesn't fit me anymore, but they still had dress blues. Yes.
Okay.
Today it's different. Everybody wears the same thing.
We want to see a picture of you in your uniform, man. Yeah.
My sister don't have hers either.
No,
she was in the Navy in Desert Storm. Didn't have these. These did not exist. I'm just saying we didn't have phones.
Yeah. No, I think what they're getting at though is like because they take your picture and give it to you in the military, like every person, like everybody gets a headshot.
If she was in the Navy, right? I tried to get some of her pictures because she served in Desert Storm. Now she's the hero.
I mean, I was in the Navy. I can go right
pictures
and
of
get
her.
my.
We can't dig up a picture.
Not
a uniform somewhere. In a box somewhere. It's like I wish I had my little derby car from the Cub Scouts. That's buried somewhere. Yeah, it's
I found a governmental like archive website that can save like everybody who served. I'm gonna see if I can find you on this. See if you've been archived. I don't know your last name.
No, I'm not giving that out. How did we get on this conversation anyway? I did a lot of interesting things with my life, but nobody asked me about my military career either.
What's your military career? I'll ask you. I'll bite.
I didn't do anything special there either.
Well,
there's nothing to talk about there either. How can I explain it? Like I said, I thank everybody for their comments. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that many people would watch my video, comment on it. That many comments. Oh my God. It's kind of like when Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he said, Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass. That changed his life overnight. My channel went from 460 subs to 1,100, almost 1,200 subs. Now it's going to peak out at some point. And this is another video. I don't know how many people are going to see it. I don't know if my last video was a one-hit wonder. I don't know. But I just want to say thank you.